I've been here all night. Ariana. I've been here all day. Nicki Minaj. And boy, you got me walking side to side. I'm talking to you. See you standing over there with your body. Feeling like I wanna run.
Hi everyone, so today I'm back with another foundation review and I just put all my hair out of the way with this headband. It's so cute! Anyways, I don't wear this out by the way, I just wear it at home because I think it's really cute. But today we'll be doing a foundation review on the Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation. As you can see here, I know this has been out for quite a while, maybe a few months already, but it has only just released in Singapore Sephora. So yeah, I just thought I'll give this a try, and also it claims to do everything that someone with my skin condition, being acne prone, oily skin, dehydrated, and someone who wants like that all-nighter, all-day kind of a lasting foundation claims to do. So I thought that, you know, might as well put it through the ringer and give it a full day test. So yeah, this is me trying it out. I'm in the shade 4.0. If you want to see how this lasts, then just keep on watching. So as usual, this is my skin type. You guys know it already. If you have been subscribed to me for a really long time, then you would know what my skin condition is. At the moment, the side's kind of subsiding, but the acne spots have left like really prominent acne scar. But as I go through my regime, it sort of like flattens, smooths out, and it becomes to one of these kind of existing scarring. But generally, my left side's a lot better than my right, so I'm still trying to fix it. This is the packaging. I had a really hard time matching myself to a foundation shade just because I heard that this foundation does oxidize, and also it being out for so long and there being so many reviews on it, I was like, there is bound to be someone that is doing like a kind of MAC to Urban Decay foundation sort of comparison, but surprisingly no one is doing that. So yeah, here is me. I am an NC20. I mean, at best I'm an NC20, and when I get slightly darker I'm an NC25, but usually I'm definitely an NC20 just cause I don't get out in the sun much, and yeah, the darkest part of my body is my arms, so my chest is around an NC20. And yeah, this is how the foundation looks like. It comes with a pump, it's plastic, and yeah, not much else to add. I think when I'm applying it there will be claims popping up on the screen, but behind it doesn't really say much. It just says shake well before use, and that's about it. So yeah, let's see if this really oxidizes and if it's really like worth all that hype, you know, around it being an all-nighter type of foundation. So I'm just gonna squeeze a pump. Okay, so that's about one pump. As you can see, it's dripping down the back of my hand, so it isn't super moussey. I'm going to put like a Lumi kind of primer on the left side, and we will see how that sort of compares. Okay, so let's apply it on the prime side first on this half. Okay, so this is how it looks on this side. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I mean, I did not apply the full pump of foundation on my whole face, but it's giving me a really nice finish. I'm thinking, okay, so how I proceeded to try to match myself was that I found out that all the 0.0 shades, like so 3.0, 4.0, 2.0, 1.0, they run a little more yellow, so I assumed that the 3.0 would be too light, so I just swung myself all the way to 4.0, and anything in between sort of moves between a neutral to peachy kind of shade. So there's a 3.25 and a 3.5. I'm thinking that I should have got maybe a 3.5 or 3.25, but it matches me kind of alright, but I think it's running a little too yellow. When they say yellow, it really looks really yellow. I'm not sure how it translates on camera, but yeah, comparing both sides, it's kind of a mismatch, and yeah, hopefully it doesn't oxidize to make me look really weird. But yeah, okay, so this is how it looks coverage wise. has covered a lot, but this side behaves really well in terms of I don't have that many acne scarring or acne spots here. So as you can see, this is the other side, and I'm thinking that it is really full coverage. It actually, I mean, I applied really little product and it's super full coverage. It has quite a tacky finish now. It's kind of quite satin, it's not velvet, so I'll give this a while to set, but it is setting really quickly actually. As I touch sort of this area between the non-foundation side and the foundation side, it kind of feels a little bit like it's even like skin. So yeah, I think if you want to blend it quickly, you should do it fast. I'm going to use the beauty sponge on the other side. I'm just going to damp it real quick. So this is how it looks on the more acne prone side of my face. I think it covered up almost all my acne spots. So this is not going to be one that looks really natural and sort of like, you know, your blemishes will sort of peek through. It kind of really neutralized everything really well. I think with a sponge or with a kabuki brush, they both kind of apply pretty similarly to me. I mean, it's not like one applies better than the other, if that makes sense, but generally with liquid foundations, I find that there should be a difference in the sense that with the sponge you will get a very quick application on your whole face while still having a dewy finish, but both really perform very similarly. It's a little hard to blend for some reason with the sponge. I find that generally with this patting motion, it doesn't get it to buff out really quickly. I still had to drag the sponge across my face, so I mean, I'm not really sure what that is attributed to, but perhaps it's the setting time. Like once it sets, it doesn't really move. So yeah, it sets quite quickly, you have to move quickly, and suggest really damping your sponge if you're going to use a sponge. But if I had to choose an application method, I think I would take the kabuki brush a lot more. As you can see on the prime side, I did use a Lumi primer, so slight bit of radiance is just peeking through, but it's not anything that makes my skin look greasy or takes away from the mattенess of the foundation formula. On this side, it is honestly quite completely matte, and yeah, it feels like skin. It really feels like nothing on the skin, but I'm not sure whether this is me just being really just consumed with the type of formulation, but it does feel a little bit tightening for some reason, and that's kind of scary, like it's face paint. But that's really quite scary. But I'm thinking that if you use really little product, maybe half a pump, and you put it on the center of your face and you blend it out naturally, it wouldn't feel like that. I used about close to 2 pumps on my whole face, so yeah, it gives me really full coverage. It is quite matte, this side more tacky because of the primer, but overall it is really matte, and it has already set. You know, while I'm talking, it already set, and I don't think there will be a lot of transfer. Even as I'm kind of rubbing my face, nothing's really transferring off onto my face. So yeah, I'll just take you in closer to see the final finish. Okay, so I'm done with my makeup. I did really like basic things. I just did a powdered blush, a sort of eyeshadow highlight. Yeah, I use eyeshadow as highlight because it's really pigmented, but yeah, nothing much on the eye. So I just really maintained the true formula of the foundation, and because it was so dark for my skin, what I did was like I kind of overdrew my concealer in the under eye fashion. I did like 3 inverted triangles, and I tried to blend it out so that the foundation doesn't look as tan as it did. So that's a little trick also. So yeah, I'm just gonna go about my day and see how well this lasts. I'm gonna keep it on for as long as I can. It's like 8 AM now, and I'll probably leave it on till like about 10 PM if I can, but it's set really quickly, so work so fast. Like I can't even emphasize how fast you have to work. And I think that if you're not going to apply any other skincare product, people with dry skin, this is really not one for you, because it will definitely cling on and latch on to a lot of places really quickly. So yeah, not much else to add, but on my skin type it's looking incredibly great at this point. So yeah, I'll check back in at the end of the day and I'll let you know how it has held up. How does it look?
It look nice.
Does it look very full coverage?
It is.
Does it match me well?
It is.
You like it?
I love it.
Bye! Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, there's a lot of like oil production, that kind of thing. That's because I really did my ultimate best to keep this foundation on for as long as I can, and it's about 10 p.m. now, and basically what I think about this is almost all good things. As you saw in those mini vlog style clips that I inserted, it really is an all-nighter, fully long wear type foundation, and I have not much bad things to add. I actually think that even though it did oxidize to look a little darker, I don't mind, just because it makes me look a little more tan. But I think that if you are looking for something really natural, this isn't going to be it, because it does look like I'm wearing foundation. But what I find is that overall it just looks really put together. If you're going for a night of clubbing or like an overnight party or something like that, this will really last through anything. And as I mentioned, when I did apply it, it kind of felt like it was tightening on the skin, but I think if you are an oily skin girl, it will naturally hydrate itself and your skin will feel less tight. And yeah, basically I did not set my face. So another thing I noticed is that in my smile lines, in these areas, as well as like perhaps the creasing under my eye, it does crease a little, it falls into the cracks. So yeah, you just have to smooth those over, but other than that, not many bad things to add. I think that this is one that is really high coverage, and the only other foundation that I heard to have such good coverage and longevity is the Remarkable foundation by Marc Jacobs, I think. So I will have to do a side-by-side comparison for that, and I'm going to do a review on that foundation as well. So yeah, when that is up, I will try to do a half and half face kind of comparison and do a full day wear test so that we know which is sort of more long lasting or which is a better formulation. So yeah, but for this, for my first impressions wear test, I think that it gets about a 9 out of 10. I think that the full coverage, matte finish and oil free kind of basic claims, it really does hit all the boxes and it looks really good. Just one other thing is, when you do apply the product, try to apply very little. Start out with very little, and then where you need coverage, add coverage, because if you kind of pile the product on everywhere and you want a really thick layer all over your face, it tends to look a little bit cakey in these areas if you don't blend it well. So that's really all there is to it, because it's a very thick formulation. Yeah, even though it's quite runny down the hand, but the formula itself is quite thick and opaque, so you just have to take time to blend everything. So yeah, that's all I have to say, and if you did like it, do give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!